Have you heard of red rice? Well, research shows that it delivers an antioxidant punch of almost 10 times more than brown rice. And as I speak, more people are turning to it because it's apparently packed with a whole list of good things. To tell me more about this, I'm now joined by Dr. WICKNESWARI RATNAM, Managing Director of Nomatech, to talk about Primera red rice. Doctor, thanks for being with us. Exciting to know that this variant of rice, red rice in particular, is packed with benefits. Let's get right into it. Tell us a little bit more about Primera's red rice and its benefits.
Okay, I'm so excited. I will share the 6 main benefits of this rice. First is the low glycemic index of the rice. Number 2 is rich in antioxidants, rich in fiber, and also rich in resistant starch and zinc. And the other important benefit is the GABA, which is also present in this rice when it's sprouted. So these are the 6 main benefits of this rice. So each of the benefits has got a health value. You can know what that is about. Yeah,
that's right. So this puts to rest the conversation or debate about rice being unhealthy. Yes. How does this basically, what would you say to viewers who still say, but it's still rice, it's full of starch?
Yeah, even though it's full of starch, as you know, all rices have the same starch content, but this particular rice is what we call a complete rice. It is rich in the nutrients that is necessary for healthy tissues and cells, and also in the minerals, and is rich in fiber. So the big difference between rice, which is rich in carbohydrate, is how the carbohydrate is digested in our intestines or in our gut, and where the glucose is released very slowly into our bloodstream. So that's very important, and this is actually substantiated by the high resistant starch content in this rice, where the resistant starch acts as a prebiotic in our gut and improves our gut microflora, and also the microflora or the microorganisms in our gut will break up this starch into short chain fatty acids, which is then absorbed and is very healthy for the bloodstream, for health in terms of controlling cholesterol, making it low GI. And
so it's good for people who have, for example, high blood pressure or diabetes,
yes,
or any other conditions such as. Let's talk a little bit about the difference of red rice from other, or rather Primera's red rice from other red rice in the market.
Okay, there are a number of red rices already commercially available in Malaysia and also worldwide. And the most predominant or common one is actually the Thai red rice. We also have Vietnamese red rice, Sri Lanka red rice, but these are produced in very low quantities. So the most one is the Thai red rice. So what's the difference between the Thai red rice or the traditional land-raised, the Sarawak red rice that is also made available in Malaysia? So the main difference is it's low GI. And this rice is also easy to cook, and it is palatable, tasty compared to other red rices. And usually I think the much more important thing is accessibility to this rice and affordability. So you will always buy rice that if you can get it from your store, and it's at a very competitive price compared to other rices.
And what's interesting also is that the portions, you don't have to eat as much as you would normal white rice.
Correct. Because the rice is rich in resistant starch and has got a low GI, and also rich in fiber, so you only need to eat like half the portion of what you would normally consume this rice. So actually you are eating less carbohydrate indirectly, and that helps with body weight management and also postprandial blood glucose levels.
Of course, the product is well researched, and there's a lot of information to back it up. But walk us through the process. How is Primera red rice produced?
Oh, that was a real painful process. Okay, the research took us 8 years, from 2001 to 2009, where we filed for a new plant variety, and that took us another 5 years for us to acquire the IP as a new plant variety. And following that, we had to do the validation or verification in the farmer's field of whether this rice can be cultivated in the farmer's field, which has got resistant to diseases. So that took another 3 years. So altogether, I think we took about 16 years to get to this point. And the research part was very challenging because we had to cross a wild rice with a cultivated rice. As you know, rice is a self-fertilizing plant. It doesn't cross with other plants, other rice species, even in the same plot. What do you call it? The anthers are closed. The flowers are closed. So meaning that all pollen from the same plant will fertilize the stigma. So it's very difficult to cross. So we had to do emasculation and introduce the pollen from the wild rice. Yeah.
And from the time it is planted and then harvested, what is the process then? How does that then get to our tables?
Okay, so for rice, first we have to produce what we call breeder seeds, which takes a season. Then we produce foundation seeds, which is another season. So then these foundation seeds for specialty rice are then given to farmers, and they cultivate it for another season. So each season is about 4 months. So, and this is a continuous process. So once the farmers have cultivated it and it's harvested, it goes to the mills where it is dried immediately. For rice, it's very important for the field to be very near to the mill, or the mill to be very near to the field, because rice cannot be kept moist condition. It has to be less than 12% moisture content to reduce any deterioration due to fungi or bacteria.
We see that this is packaged nicely and of course easily available as well. Doctor, walk us through its price point and where can people get the health benefits and reap the benefits of a Primera red rice?
You see, it's vacuum packed, which is very important. This actually seals the rice, and it is at the time that it's packed after harvest, so it ensures its freshness. So this rice now is found in or sold in more than 1,200 retail outlets, which include the hypermarkets, all the major hypermarkets, the supermarkets, the grocers that you normally go within in your housing area, even the pharmacies, health stores, and also online in Shopee and Lazada, easily available. And the pricing, because we have 5 different packaging from 250 grams, which is more for those who are selling baby food, to 500 grams for those who are testing maybe, and then 1 kg, 2 kg, which is more popular now, and the 5 kg also for those who want to buy on a regular basis. They don't want to go too many times to the market, so we sell the 5 kg. So these all are available very easily, and the pricing is very competitive. The ceiling price only I can share with you. For the smallest packet is 6 ringgit, and for the 5 kg packet is 70 ringgit. So that's the ceiling price for consumers. So, but retailers will mark it down.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor, for coming in here and of course sharing and being the person to really push this to the forefront as well. Primera, it's your healthy rice, a low GI and of course antioxidant rice. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We have another guest joining me in just a few moments to show you a noteworthy recipe using Primera red rice. Stay tuned. Hi, and here we are about to put the pedal to the metal and give this rice a test. And today I'm joined by TikTok famous and the very talented Chef Dave. Chef, welcome. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you so much. I'm really excited to try Primera rice today.
Absolutely, and we're so fortunate that you're here with us to take us through what seems to be a very simple recipe, but one that will be full of flavor. Now, this is the Primera rice right here in my hand. Tell us a little bit more about what you think of Primera rice.
Basically, I think Primera rice have very special nutty flavor to it, and also it just works so well with Asian flavors. So that's why I'm thinking going to make this a very simple one-pot meal. In Tamil we call it sati sore, like Indian claypot rice. So basically sati means claypot, sore means rice. So I'm just going to combine the Indian flavors with the Chinese way of cooking it. I should do this particular dish with Primera rice because I really feel that that will be the best combination. So yeah.
Right.
Really excited.
I love how great food and healthy food can bring us all Malaysians together by using and fusing all our different flavors and methods of cooking. So without any time wasted, let's go.
for the entire recipe, I think main thing is our Primera rice. So this is like very important. So I take about 1 cup of Primera rice. So this we will wash and soak it later. And then for the main part, normally this satisuri they can make with like, you know, chicken or seafood and so forth. But I'm making it vegan, so I'm using like chickpea as for the protein. So about ½ cup. And then about 1 cup of mixed vegetables. So this one you can use any type of vegetable that you like. So I'm just using some carrot, long beans, some okra, as well as mushroom. Any type of mushroom, just try to avoid over-empowering mushrooms like shiitake mushroom and so forth.
Because of the strong flavor.
Yeah, because we don't want, because as I mentioned earlier, Primera rice already have that nutty flavor which is so earthy. So we want that to be in the rice. We don't want that empowering by the mushrooms. And also some tomatoes just to balance up the flavor because it's going to be curried flavor. And of course, satisuri, Indian claypot rice, can never go without curry powder. So it's like curry, you know. And then for saute, the entire dish, I think Malaysian dish, everything has to be sauteed nicely, tumis sampai pecah minyak. So for that, I'm having here 1 shallot. And then ginger and garlic paste is about 1 tablespoon, and also green chili about 1. If you want a bit more spicy, you can use dried chili about 3 to 4, but I just don't want it too spicy as well. And then curry leaves. Okay, so and of course salt and oil. Okay, so shall we start?
Let's do it.
Okay, so first we're going to wash this Primera rice. So we're just going to add this in a bigger bowl so easier for us to wash. And then just wash them.
And for the water, do we have to estimate macam kita selalu guna macam ni ke, you know, with our
okay.
Or is
for
it 5 cup?
Primera rice, actually the suggestion is for 1 cup, you just have to add about 2 to 2.5 cup of water lah, 2.5 cup of water. But since we are making satisuri, for washing now we just wash. Even 1 time is actually very clear already, but I'm just washing 2 times. And then we can just let it soak for about 10 minutes. So meantime that the rice is soaking, we will cook the base.
Okay. Simple, delicious, and super healthy. So we've got the rice sitting here pretty, soaking for about 10 to 15 minutes while we start to blend all the other ingredients together. Now for the claypot, does it have to be a claypot per se or a small, big size, any particular type of claypot, or we can use a kuali biasa?
Actually, you can use kuali biasa if you don't have a claypot at home, but definitely I always have my own small little claypot, which you can cook up to 2 cups of rice. So first we just have to turn on the fire and let it hot, and you can add some oil.
How much?
Okay, yeah, exactly. I know when you will ask this question, I say some. So if you are really health conscious, you can go like 2 tablespoons. But for me, I will always find a balance in between. Like since I'm using a healthier rice, so my oil is a bit more. I think should be fine because I want the flavor to be really nice to gel in.
What would you say to people who think, well, brown rice, red rice, you know, wild rice you mentioned before, it's not the same as nasi biasa, our plain white rice that we have. But you've mentioned before that it's full of this nutty flavor as well.
Yes.
So how do we make that switch from what we are used to a healthier choice?
I guess, I mean, previously I have discussed about this with a lot of my audience and also clients that who are eating healthy meals and all that. You can transition like half-half, like half white rice and half like Primera rice, and then slowly you reduce the amount of white rice and you will slowly go into the rice without any issue. That's one of the easiest way of transition, because it will be very difficult even for me at first, like suddenly switch to Primera rice, but now as time goes by, you will be just completely enjoying the rice, even just plain with some soy sauce sometime, you know, when you leave it to
yeah, with some egg.
Yeah, and it's like perfect for porridge as well. Yeah.
Right, okay. Is it suitable for children and elderly people?
I think definitely yes, because it's not like highly processed as like white rice, which is highly processed and polished, etc. That's why I definitely will say go for whole grain, like whole food. So Primera definitely in the category of whole food. And definitely going to be suitable for all age.
So I think the minyak is ready now.
Yeah, exactly. It means you know how to cook.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing I always like to add into my sauté ingredient, people love to add ginger and garlic, but I will go by shallots.
Oh.
Yeah, because shallots take longer time actually to really caramelize. So I will definitely love to go with shallots.
And
so,
to let it brown a little, is
yeah.
that a bit of a trick?
No, actually there's nothing much. Just watch. Your eyes and your nose have to do the work. So you just smell and also see if the color change. Once you see it start translucent, so now you can add in the rest of the ingredient like the chilies and also curry leaf.
So this meal with preparation, and because it's a one-pot meal, the whole family can enjoy it.
Yes, exactly. And also ginger garlic paste.
Okay.
So once you add all, you just continue saute this. So you basically have to saute this until the raw flavor of the ginger and garlic gone. So I have to be very careful because of the curry leaf and all that. It will like sparks a bit, which is very normal.
I love this smell. It reminds you of
chicken curry.
Yeah, of just good home cooking was what I was going to say.
Okay.
And I think every household at some point will be very familiar with the smell, especially the onion, the ginger, the garlic.
And of course you can add like empat sekawan, like cinnamon sticks, star anise, cardamom and cloves. But I don't want to like make the dish so complicated. You need so much of ingredients where you can actually make it like so simple. So, but if you really like fancy a bit lah kan nak play with it lagi padu we say, right?
Yeah.
So you can add a bit of cinnamon stick or star anise. So as we can see, it's really going nice, and you can see it started to like translucent and slowly started to caramelize. This is what we want. Okay. So and you can see the ginger start to stick on the side and the bottom of the clay pot. It means it's almost done. Okay, so when it's almost done, you can add in the tomatoes. Okay. So the water.
So what you're doing now is like the base for curry first.
Yes, exactly. So the tomatoes has the liquid, which will help to release back the garlic. If you don't want to use tomato, you can also use like tomato puree, which is in the can, but use fresh tomato is the best.
Natural and authentic with this. So it's not a traditional dish in that sense. It's a fusion approach to a dish that is generally traditional for Chinese cooking. Clay pot rice or clay pot chicken rice. But these days everything is possible.
I mean, as a Malaysian, we always love fusion. You know, we are just mixed with so much of different race, culture, and the food. So our cooking method also, we kind of borrow each other's techniques and apply to our cooking day-to-day habits.
As you mentioned, Chef, Malaysians love our food. And there is no shortage of food anywhere, you know, in terms of commercial food being available and from shops and restaurants and pasar malam and all of that. But maybe the new thinking should be a more healthier approach and also trying to limit food wastage, right? That's of course a big problem now in the world as well, food security and food availability.
Okay, so now the tomato is like almost like mashed and it's like mixed well. Turn off the fire. This is a very important process. Why you have to turn off the fire? Because we don't want to burn the spices. And I love to saute my curry powders. If you like really worried, you can mix some water, make it into paste, and then add into this. But I would love to just add the curry powder directly to the oil.
So it won't be thick?
No, it will. So basically why we do this, we just want the oil to really like cook the spices and the flavor will be totally different. Then you add water, then add curry powder, which is, you know, you can tell the difference.
Right.
Trust the chef.
That's right, always trust the chef.
Okay, so once we add this, so we just saute this for a while. And you'll slowly see the flavors started coming up. Then only you add a bit of water. So basically what we done just now, we just like tempering the spices and the curry powder lah. Okay, so now we can just add a bit of water, just about like 1/3 cup like that, and then you can on back your fire.
Right, and then now it will all sort of melt into each other. Oh, that looks ready. Everyone behind the camera all looking at and smelling these wonderful fumes. It is a one-pot meal. It's an easy approach, and the rice, I think, will almost be done in just a short while. So basically, anyone can do it. It's cooking made easy with rice that's healthy.
You can see so quickly it's already pecah minyak.
Yes.
You can see how nice it looks like. So, and I always love to add salt with the spices so that it gives you a better finishing later. So just add a pinch of salt.
Okay.
I don't measure my salt most of the time. So kita agak-agak. You know, that's Malaysian way of cooking.
Yes.
Okay,
Whenever we ask our moms, especially for recipe, agak-agak, boleh lah agak-agak. But it works.
So now, first thing that I want to add in when the oil is still around is bendi. The okra, because okra, if you don't really cook them in oil, it will start to coming out like slimy like that, which we don't want. So we just saute this with oil a bit.
That goes in first to have it give it a head start to cook.
And all the vegetable will cook in a very short time. So the next thing we can add in is carrot, which will take a bit of time as well. And you doesn't have to fully cook them because later you're going to top up this entire thing on top of rice that is just cooking like halfway. So you just have to like cook for 1-2 minutes. That will be just beautiful because it will continue cooks later.
Very colorful right now.
Yeah.
And you're going to add in next.
So now I can add in the chickpeas and the rest of the vegetables that I have, which is mushrooms as well as the long bean. And just a bit of water again.
Everything's coming together.
Yes.
And just give it a good mix so it doesn't stick to the sides.
Yes.
Wow. I like that.
It's a very simple dish.
So what other dishes could one make with Primera rice?
Oh, you can make so many things.
Fried rice.
You can make fried rice, you can make porridge as I mentioned, you can make rice pudding, you can even make like, you know, brownies. I believe so because, I mean, basically we can make brownies with beans and all that. So I definitely believe that Primera rice can do the same. And we can make a lot of different things. Even you make it into like rice flour, and then you can even make like thosai, you can make idli. You know, so there are so many things. Even like you can make tumayam, you know. So basically it's just like, I mean, there's no limit. Sky is the limit.
Sky's the limit. Yeah, and it's a great alternative to how we know cooking as it is with this red rice, Primera's red rice, that is of course an antioxidant red rice. And I like the fact that it's gluten-free and GMO-free as well. Many people are also going towards a gluten-free lifestyle.
Exactly.
And like Chef, you are vegan as well, so this nicely incorporates with your lifestyle.
Definitely. So basically it's all done now. So as you see, it just take a few minutes. So now I'm just going to scoop this and keep aside. I already off the fire.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take this. Don't worry about the vegetable. Dah masak ke belum? No need to worry about that because later we're going to continue cooking this. So we just take this out and one side.
I'll hold that for you.
And actually, you can just eat this with rice as well.
I would.
But
it smells so good.
Yeah, but definitely that's not what we want to do today.
Yes.
Okay, so just like this one we can keep aside now. So quickly add in water, about 2.5 cup. 2.5 cup. Okay, and then turn on the fire again.
So it's going to cook in all of that previous essence.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just give a stir and just let it boil. So we just close this so that it can boil a bit faster.
So in the same pot as you sauteed and cooked the curry earlier, we will add water, and this has been boiling for about just a minute or two.
Yeah.
And now it's ready.
It's ready. You can see.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so we just quickly add in rice and turn the fire to the lowest possible because we just want to cook in like really slow fire. And then add all the rice that we already soaked.
Okay, this is a pro step. I would have taken out the water using a sieve and
you can do that as well. But, you know, just this is like...
whichever makes you happy.
Yeah.
So the other thing about Primera rice is that it really does make you feel full as well.
Yes.
It's not, you know, some might say, well, brown rice, red rice, I'm not used to it. Will I still feel full after eating?
Definitely. I think definitely once you start to consume Primera rice, you will realize one thing. If you enjoy like 1 cup of rice in the past, you will start to only can take half cup because it's really like filling. So it's like you don't have to eat so much of rice anymore. Like me, I really enjoy my rice a lot, but you know, being vegan, so I just don't care, just eat. So in Chinese, we call like, you know, tok nasi, fan tong. But anyway, but I think since with Primera rice, you will definitely realize that you stop eating that much of rice.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, you just take what you need, like your body needs. Okay, so just give a good stir. And then you can see all the aromas there still. Of course, not much. Later on, when we top up with
I know that nutty flavor is coming through right now.
Yes, exactly. And now we're just going to close this again. And remember, really, really slow fire and cook until the rice is cooked. Don't ask me how long because
just about to ask you how long.
Because everyone's pot and the amount you cook might be different. So it might take 15 minutes or 20 minutes or even half an hour, depending on the quantity that you're cooking. But for this agak-agak, it will just take about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And it's done. So basically, we have to wait until it's about 60 to 70% cooked. Then we will continue.
Okay, so we've given it a couple more minutes for it to really cook and sit in the pot. Chef, show us the rice now in its full glory.
Yeah, it's about to cook. I mean, like about almost done.
Right.
So now we're going to add in the curry that we have made. Just on top of this rice.
Okay, speaking about the curry, what curry powder should we use?
You can use meat curry powder. So I use meat curry powder. So because it's much suitable for this. Because if you use fish curry powder, it will be more suitable for seafoods and for vegetables. Meat curry powder is the best. So now we're just going to close this up again and also to let it cook for another like 3 minutes.
Ta-da! This is the grand reveal, Chef. I cannot wait any longer.
It's almost done, so we just turn on fire. I know it's done. Okay, so
yes, it's perfectly done.
Yeah, so you can see it's all dries up now. So we're just going to have to be very careful. It's hot. So just going to take this up and you can see how beautiful it is.
Yes. Be a full hearty meal already. It's got all the nutrients you need.
Exactly.
What more with the gluten-free and low GI rice that's antioxidant.
Exactly.
Okay.
And of course just need a touch of garnishing, just like how we love some makeups before we going out.
Yes, indeed. And there you go. It's so aromatic and full of flavor. This is, Chef, the clay pot Indian curry rice.
Yeah, Asst.Producer Primera rice.